Hello, beautiful souls. It's Heather. Thank you so much for watching this video. And this is actually a little bit different from what I usually post on my channel. This is actually an interview, an in-depth interview that I had the pleasure and honor of doing with Paul Banks, who is also an EFT practitioner as well. So sit back, relax, and enjoy. We talk all things EFT, how we got into it, and also some amazing, beautiful insights as well. So enjoy. Hi, everybody. It's Heather. Thank you for joining me. This is going to be a very special video. I'm going to be interviewing a really amazing EFT practitioner who I discovered literally last week. I don't know if you know about this about me, but I love to see what's going on in the EFT world. And I just thought, like, let's just see EFT tapping, search. And then this video came up and there was a man, Paul, tapping along to techno music. And I thought, that's genius. I've never seen that before. And it was like you were tapping and like having a good time, good energy. And I thought, you know what, I need to put a comment and connect. And then Paul reached out to me and was like, hey, do you want to connect? Because you know what, if you probably won't hear it, but you will after this. We have both Northern accents, and sometimes it's hard to find an EFT practitioner who's probably not from America. So it's, you know, we're local, and it's really nice to see that we're both bringing EFT into the world in different ways. And also, Paul has just celebrated an amazing milestone, 1,000 subscribers on
Hey.
YouTube. Woo! So that at the time of recording, it's just gone over the 1,000 mark. So congratulations.
Thank
And
you.
also, Paul is the host of Men and Mental Health, where you can check out on his YouTube different interviews and really highlighting and shining a light on men's mental health, which is, you know, a really important topic these days. So without further ado, we have Paul here. Welcome. Hello.
Good evening.
Good
Thanks for that
evening.
amazing introduction.
Oh, you're so welcome. No, thank you for, you know, bringing your own spin on EFT. And I just love your videos. Like, where did that idea even come from to add techno, funk music, club music?
Well, I did it for a lady in Dublin, and I fixed the panic attacks. And she said to me, why don't you add music to videos? And she thought like relaxing, calm, ambient music. And I never really got around to it, but it planted a seed in my head. And then I thought, well, why don't I like this? It's the biggest journey I've been on in my life. And I'm combining all the things that I love. So I love house music, and I love techno, and I love all the 90s clubbing music. So I thought, well, if I'm going to add music, why don't I really bring myself to these videos? And techno's got a hypnotic beat. I just thought it'd be perfect for it.
And you know, I loved it. I mean, if you've probably never seen this before, if people are watching, but definitely go and check one out. And it just, like I said, raises your vibration. It's your own spin. And that's like we were discussing before we came onto this interview. Like, what we love about EFT is that you can add your own flavor, your own creativity to it. And let's just go right back to, I don't know, the start of when you first discovered EFT, because obviously everyone has their own journey with it, how they found it. And yeah, I'd love to know yours, Paul.
So yeah, I can't. So sometimes I've told this story so many times, and then sometimes it takes me by surprise, and I can't tell it. And like I started a counselling course recently, and we went around the room and said, "Why introduce yourself and why you're doing this course and who you are." And then I clammed up, and the words couldn't come out. So it's really personal to me. My mum died in front of me like four years ago, and it was a sudden death. She fell down the stairs while I was talking to her, and I had to do CPR. And when you try to save someone's life, it's not always heroic thoughts that go through your head. So there is stuff like, you know, there is like, I need to concentrate. I need to do it. You know, there is the urgent thoughts where you're saving someone's life, but then everyday thoughts pop up in your mind. And I started to feel guilty for a long time after that. And I developed PTSD, and I was paying a lady who specialized in trauma, and she kept telling me about EFT. And I thought, I'm not paying 50 quid for that. It sounds crap. You know, like, if I'm paying 50 quid, then I want someone who specializes in trauma. And then I started to get bad flashbacks in work, and we talked about the guilt that I was feeling. And she said, well, why don't we try EFT? So I said, well, go on then. And then we started tapping, and then I said everything that was going on in my head while I was doing CPR, my mum. And we did it for about 20 minutes. And then as I was doing it, she was saying, this is a normal response to the trauma. And I got quite lost in it. And 20 minutes went by, which is probably how long I was doing CPR. And the guilt went in that session. I just thought it was amazing. And then I cracked up in work, really. I had to leave my job. I started to, PTSD got worse and worse. And then we had one session where I felt like I couldn't cope. And, I just felt like I was cracking up. And we did another EFT session then. And the anxiety just seemed to calm me right down. So whenever I was experiencing extreme emotions and I was overwhelmed, she'd do tapping with me, and it worked. So that inspired me to do my training. Yeah.
Amazing. And, thank you for sharing that story, because, that's not hard to talk about. And, what you did was, I believe, a heroic act. It's not easy to just step up to the plate when something like that happens. And then you don't expect those things in life to happen ever. You never go through your day going, imagine if this thing happens. And then when it does, it's like, there's kind of two choices. You can live with that forever until the grave, or you go, right, I want to make a choice and I want to move forward and free myself. And the fact that you went, you know what, I'm going to seek help for that. That's really powerful, because not everybody does that or feels like they have to just carry on. Because obviously, like we were saying, like men's mental health, a lot of the time, a lot of men just say, oh, brush it off. It's fine. Like, I can cope. And it's okay to admit that you can't. So yeah, EFT has been that powerful for you. And then you said that you did a course in it. And then how was that course experience for you? Did you find that you were doing it on yourself and it was working?
Yeah. So ever since I had to leave work, I've been changing my life and my career. So I've been doing volunteered for 3 different charities. And then I did a 3-day course with a lady called Tanya Prince. And we had to do 50 hours practice, pass an exam. But the 50 hours practice was amazing. And the people I met through it and the experiences I had. And in answer to that question, like doing it on myself, I had a period where I wasn't sleeping, and I kept waking up early depressed. Like I'd wake up at 5 o'clock depressed, and thinking, how am I going to fill my day? And not quite my life's over, but nearly there. And when I did my course, I thought, well, I'll do some tapping on myself. And I went to bed and I did a round of tapping. I did a few rounds and I said, even though I feel like I'm going to wake up early depressed tomorrow. And I just did rounds of tapping on that. And then I slept right through. Like it's first time I'd done it for ages. So there's been it's been an amazing experience. I've done it mainly. Well, I've done it all as a volunteer, and I've done it for charities. So I work as cover staff for a charity called Being There. That's people with cancer and terminal illness. And I did a Zoom class for them. And even, sometimes even then I was cynical because I just passed my course, and I thought, well, it's not going to work on pain. And even, people were everyone was looking at me in the class like, what the hell is he talking about? And, no one was tapping when I was telling them. And then I did it on one woman who had severe spinal pain, and it worked. And then the whole room was like looking like, what the hell has just happened? And then I worked at the end of the class. It worked on a guy who was really, really cynical. And he said, go on, I'll have a go. And he was in agony with acute knee pain. And we did it around the tapping and it worked. So I just think it's phenomenal.
I completely agree. It's one of those things, like you say, you're skeptical about first, or when you explain it to people, they like look at you like you've got 3 heads. But then when you do it, you actually can see how it changes, whether it's either like physical pain or you feel like that anxiety, that fear go. And obviously for you, you're obviously creating these YouTube videos. So when did you decide I'm actually going to put myself out there and share them?
So my teacher told me that my story was powerful and people will form an emotional connection with me, and that's how she thinks I'll do well eventually, and that's how it'll happen. So I did EFT for a lady that I do a tarot card class with, and in return she gave me a free coaching session. And then I said that I'll tell my story, and she said, well, you know, like I'll write it down on a blog. And she will now do a video. So I did a video, and that was the very first video I did last year. It's about 7 minutes, and I did it in one take. And I just sat there and I told the story that I've told you, but I went into a little bit more detail, and I just talk about CPR, and I got a lot of good feedback from it. So yeah, that's how I started doing videos. And then there was no music to them at the start, probably for about 5 months, 6 months, and then I suddenly got the idea to add techno to them. Yeah.
And what's kind of next for you with this YouTube journey? I mean, you've already got like 1,000 subscribers, so obviously something's clearly working. Is there like a place you want to take it, or are you just kind of going with the flow?
So it makes me more credible with more followers. And at the moment, I don't make any money out of it. I just like, it's part of my life journey. But I've had a powerful experience of mental illness, and EFTs helped me. So this is part of my journey now, just helping other people. And then eventually I will earn money, but that's not my ambition. It'll just happen naturally. So I'm probably going to do one with reggae. I want to do EFT and reggae. And then I want to do EFT and dubstep. So it's whether artists, like I email record labels and artists for their permission, and quite a lot of time I get ignored, but sometimes people help me out. And it's a showcase for me, Heather. So I want to do more stuff for charities. I want to do more groups for charities. Tomorrow I'm teaching a course for Greater Manchester Mental Health, and I'm quite excited about that. I'm doing that as a volunteer. And I want to, when I approach charities, I can say, look, I've got a YouTube, have a look at me. And it just makes me look fun and credible, doesn't it?
And how has EFT kind of changed you as a person, as in maybe as it increased your confidence? Obviously, like you're teaching classes now, so obviously that takes a lot of confidence to actually go and do those things. How has it like changed you?
I think that I've always lacked confidence in my life, and yeah, I've always lacked confidence, and I've always been anxious. And since my mum's death, it shook me to the core. And then you realise that, you know, life is short and things can change. And so I've been trying out new things, and it feels like, not like I've got a gift, but it feels like I've found something that I'm good at. And I've connected with a lot of different people. Yeah, I was going to talk about cases there, but I'm not sure about confidentiality. But yeah, it's connected me a lot of different people, and it's worked on everyone that I've done it on. So yeah, it's given me confidence, and it's given me like a skill, a self-help skill that's just life-changing. You know, for example, if I'm angry about something, then I'll tap angrily, and then I get rid of that energy. And if I've got something on my mind and it's in the middle of the night and there's no one I can ring, then I'll just say it out loud. And sometimes just getting it out of your head is powerful, because you got these thoughts that go round and round in your head, and then they keep you awake. If you just say it out loud, like, I'm nervous about doing this course tomorrow, or I worry about, like, will I end up earning money out of EFT, or just, it gets it out of my head. So it's been life-changing. It really has. And people notice a difference in me at times as well, because it's like I've found something that I genuinely love.
And, I can just tell from, the way you're speaking, you've got this like energy, very like positive. And you mentioned, I wouldn't say it's a gift, but I do believe it's a gift that you have. And sometimes we do maybe discover them later on in life, or maybe never at all. But the fact it's come to you, sometimes the what's it called, dark night of the soul, something came to life, and now how many lives you will go on to change just because of something that you learned that helped you and that can help others. I think that's like a beautiful thing, Paul. And you also mentioned you did a counseling course. I would like to know, is there anything else that you're learning on your healing and spiritual journey aside from EFT that's been really beneficial for you?
Yeah, so counselling is going to be a massive journey for me. Like, things have come into my life at the right time. So I had a therapist that when my mum died, she was really supportive at first, but I wasn't sure about this therapist. And then I switched to this lady who specialises in trauma, and she's been amazing supporting me. And now, as I train to be a counsellor myself, then I need to be in therapy for the next couple of years. So she's with me on this journey. Yeah, so I think that I'm learning person-centered counselling. So yeah, like I never shut up sometimes. And it's like I've learned how to hold a space with someone. And like my EFT sessions, sometimes I've done a session where the person's tapped and talked nearly the whole session. They've done one round of tapping at the start, and then they've just talked and tapped. And I think it's developed me as a listener. Yeah, to take in another human being, hold a space for another human being. I think it's really special and a privilege. I'm learning how to take it. I'm learning how to hold a space for people, and I'm learning empathy as well. And the more and more I practice and learn, it's becoming more and more natural.
And it's becoming something for you where you're learning about yourself, learning about the world, and it's almost like you develop as a human being in some sense. All these things that you kind of forgot about, like you say, just listening and that empathy. And EFT is like a great thing when you learn it. It opens up so many doors, doesn't it? Of like, I want to do this thing and learn this thing, because it's like it starts from there, but then it goes on further. And for you, like, what is your kind of dream, if we could dream any situation up with EFT and what you want to bring to the table, your future plans? What would you love to have happen?
So I think like having a therapeutic counselling course makes me even more credible. So I haven't got a clear idea other than I see my future and like a paid future. It's people coming to me with emotional problems, and then I help them. So I'd love to do classes. I did a course called Mindfulness Inner Base Repatterning, and that's an amazing meditation technique. So I think that EFT's got a massive future. My therapist is convinced that it will be recognised by NICE eventually, like EMDR is. So I'd like an amalgamated therapy, and I'll probably do more courses as well, probably do more stuff as I go along. But I'd love to do EFT groups. My short-term plan is do it for charities to get experience as a volunteer. And doing it as a volunteer, I get to do cases that I might not get if I was charging. More people are going to come to me and get me that experience.
Amazing. And how can people find you then if they want to follow you, or do you have social media so they can follow you on your journey?
So if you look for Paul Banks EFT practitioner, then all my links are on there.
So Paul Banks practitioner, just Google it.
Yeah, Paul Banks EFT
practitioner. Okay, we'll put all that in the description box below, so you've got all the links as well. And I think it's this amazing journey that you're on of sharing this gift and this passion that kind of maybe you didn't know you had before, but has been awakened. And like you say, it is, I believe as well with you, that EFT is going to become more mainstream, because nowadays, like, you know, meditation, mindfulness, yoga, people know what that is, but I think EFT is still niche, but it's getting there. It's like, once you see, I think once you've done it and you've experienced it, you believe it.
And there's a saying, post-traumatic growth. So you can, out of a trauma, you grow and develop new skills and new people come into your life. And it's like in Japan, like when a vase shatters, then I can't remember the saying now, but you build a beautiful mosaic. Have I said that right?
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah. So like when my mum died, I was completely broken, and I felt the effects of that for a long time. And very slowly a new me is emerging, and it's a good version of me.
The best version of you.
Yeah.
Amazing. And so we will close off this, and I'd like you to actually describe EFT in 3 words.
Emotional freedom technique. Yeah, it's throwing me that. Energy, shake it off. I'm reading a book about trauma at the moment. So it says about when animals are chased in the wild, and then they'll play dead, and then the tiger that's chasing it will think, right, I'll leave it now, and it goes off, and then the animal gets up when it's safe, but what it does is it shakes it off, and that's like the best description I heard of PTSD. And for me, like the energy I put into try to save my mum's life got trapped, and animals in the wild, they shake it off, and then all that fear and anxiety, they shake it off and it's gone. Whereas humans, we get stuck with this fear and anxiety, and we don't shake it off. And I think something like EFT tapping helps us shake it off.
Very true. I have heard that before. And yeah, we don't have that sometimes, that initial response. We just internalize, don't we, sometimes, and like hide it in little doors and pretend it's not there. And then it comes out time and time again when things happen. And yeah, EFT just gives you, like you say, it's pretty much what it says on the tin, isn't it? Emotional freedom technique. It'll free you using this technique from your emotions so you can move forward in, you know, peace and enjoyment of your life. So yeah, thank you so much, Paul. It has been an absolute pleasure and a privilege to talk to you about your journey, where you're going with EFT, and all the incredible work that you're doing with charities and the volunteering, the stories you shared, you know, pain relief, and this journey that you're on that's, you know, going to get better and better. And I'm really excited for you.
Yeah, thanks, Heather. Yeah.
All right, so thank you, everyone. If you'd like to work with Paul or connect, you've got all the links in the description below for that. And thank you so much. Bye for now. I hope you enjoyed that video and took away a little golden nugget. There were so many golden nuggets in that conversation, and it was really, really refreshing. And also, Paul interviewed me as well. So if you want to watch that, that is on his channel. I put the link below as well. So if you want to find out a bit more about how I got into EFT, my journey, then be sure to check it out. And thank you so much.